Hey, NASDOG, where you get the best dope on the markets. Dope is information. It's a term back from like the 1880s. I use it. What are we talking about here? We're going to go right into trading is risky. Always use a risk stop to stop the risk. This is educational. Any other disclaimers? I reserve the right to lie. So, but anyway, I don't. So here, look at this is today's news. Stocks slammed. VIX spikes as Trump threatens massive increase in tariffs on Chinese goods. Okay. Now there's something really interesting here. A few things. Okay. A few things. Is Trump trading? Is Team Trump trading? Hang on a second here. Window out of page. Let's look at this. Okay. Get this. Okay, so the Nasdaq on the year, okay, it's the laggard compared to gold, compared to feeder cattle, compared to a lot of different things. Up 16%. Okay, here, let's just see what this is. 15.99 is today. Okay, that might have been in the overnight. I don't know. That might have been the day session. This is a daily chart, so it's got both sessions in there. And yesterday you saw it there, 1601. Okay. This is the NAS. Okay, and I have been highlighting this. Okay, let's go here. Hang on a second here. Let me see what chart it was. Yeah, maybe it was that one here. Hang on a second here. Okay, this one. These are my shorter term ones here. Okay, so throw out today. Okay, but I was talking about this, that, you know, you get these 830 sell bar, 830 sell bar, 830, no, this one was 1142 or something like that. Here, 830 sell bar, okay, we get them and then they come back, okay, or make new highs, right? Make new highs, but you're making a new high by smidges, okay? And while calling a top is futile, okay, that was one of the things. And actually, here we are. I got the devil's number highlighted, 6666 in the S&Ps. Oh, okay. You know what? I was talking NAS, and this is these were the see the red bars right there, red bar, red bar, red bar. You know, they kind of stand out a little bit here. You know, because you only take out the previous bars. Here you took out the previous, 5-10 bars, and okay. Let's just talk about the stock market here a little bit. China sends their junk to the United States, right? We can all agree on that. Cheap Chinese. Here's crude oil here also. Okay, so Trump has apparently threatened increasing tariffs, which I think he should do. Okay? All the people, you know what, and all the people squawking, because I'm getting people texting me, Trump ought to shut up. And I'm like, why? What's the matter? Are you a Chinese CCP, Communist Party sympathizer? Because China's a mafia. China, the 6,000 people that rule the 1.4 billion people, it's a mafia, right? I mean, it's good mafia. Yeah, they're smart people. I mean, they got the... They watch every single move you make surveillance-wise. So here, let's look. Here's the Dow. Okay, so here's the Dow here. So we were up about 11%. Okay, not even. Okay, now watch this here. Okay, and because this, I've talked about this. This is kind of like in back months. Where you'll get back months in the silver that are be $1 or maybe more over the price of the front month. Okay, so what we do is we had the cash Dow up 11, and look at this, up 730. Okay, this is DECE. Okay, so in the futures market, because they price them high, because otherwise you're not going to get the there's no reason for the people that do the carry trade, those type of traders that are that want to sell, for example, a back month in silver. So you're going to have to give them $1 lead. Because there's also interest rates with that have to be tagged on, right? Because the cost, let's just go with 5%. That'd be too high, but it's easy. 5%, half of 10%. 5% on a $50 figure, okay, would be 10% would be $5, right? So half of that would be $250. Okay, that'd be out a year. Okay, I'm just making this up here just to give you the idea, the concept. If you don't understand the concept, just like with kids, make math your friend. Here's the Russell. The Russell up 9%. Okay. Here we're holding here plus 5%. This is 2-day. This is an intraday chart. So when and the metals, they're kind of all over here. Yesterday, let's just go to gold. Okay, let's go to gold. These were a couple candlestick trend lines here. If you want to learn a different way to chart candles, trend lines, okay, you can get a hold of me. Okay, I promise you they're worth it. They're worth learning. Reasonably priced. Each one of these lessons has cost me whatever, man. I say 50 grand. Okay, over the course of my lifetime here, 40 years. So, it's not really, but that's how you learn, right? So anyway, here, this was something I had highlighted here. This light green, okay, light green up to the green here. This was just on this break, okay? This would be a little sequence. The same sequence I, use here, and it can be long term. Okay, but it's the same sequence there, and that was kind of like here. Last night we came down here, okay, and then we come up to a red. Okay, so it's live here. Okay, it's live here. Comes up to a red. You kind of come down to, and then what was this? This was in this morning, I believe. Yeah, around 9 o'clock. Okay, and then we took off and we came up to a green and okay, see the trend line? See the trend line? So you had two numbers here. Okay, now I mapped that out. I have two clients here. I'm going to show it to you. All right, so hang on. Let me move this over here. So here, let's see. Here's the gold. Okay, what is this? Last night, 2:30. Okay, 2:30, and so this was the levels here, okay? You see, now there's nothing happening, okay? All I did, this was the chart I gave for, and here you can see that trend line going up, okay? Now you're not going to know that that's there, you're not going to know that this is there on an intraday chart that came up to the green, and you'd have two levels right there. And at this point, you don't know that you're going to go from a light green to a green, but I had suggested it. So here at 7:52 a.m., so this was last night, okay, 7:52 a.m., okay, these are the same level, okay, but it's just a new chart, okay, and here, as a matter of fact, here, the arrows were not there, but this is what I sent out at that time in the morning, at 8 o'clock. And I just put like two levels right here, okay? Because you can't see how, when you're reading the chart here, okay, all you see is a green, right? But look at this. You know that there's something else there, okay? One of these brown trend lines, which means it's right on top of it, okay? Because otherwise you'd see it somewhere here. You would see this trend line somewhere here, okay? And this is what I was looking at, okay? So here, what time was this at? 7:50 a.m. Okay, see it there? 7:50 a.m. Okay, and then here, this was the low. Okay, so we had gone down there last night. We come back up to the red. Okay, and then we come to here. See where they end right here? This is the sequence. You come down here, you hold. Okay, now we did end up taking this out here by a little bit, but that's why I was like, it just seemed to me. Okay, and listen, you can't trade. Nobody can trade all the markets. Okay. But I can draw charts on all the markets, okay? And I can point out certain things that you see time and time again. So anyway, so this was the high of the day. This happened when the shit hit the fan there, when Trump starts doing his truth socials, okay? And all the people that, that are mixing up. I think there's some people. Okay, so I've been getting a feel here, that the stock market just off those red bars, okay, you absolutely have to be suicidal to want to short it here, but I was just kind of calling it out, always early, always a little bit ahead of time, Okay, so this was that chart. Okay, I'm going to go through here. Here, let's blow this up. These are charts that were in that folder. Okay, this is what went out to clients here. Okay, so here we got this thing going up. You can go look at it later if you care. Okay, we're talking about just the chart action. So here, then we were on another one, and we do the 7. This was right there at the morning, right in the morning, 9:07. Okay, these are, actually, this is hogs right here. This is kind of interesting. Okay, this is about, 8/16/24, 240, 80 cents. We're getting pretty close to hogs being, oh yeah, here. Is this how the Texas guys dress here? That's Woody Harrelson. I just thought that was ass hilarious. This is copper. Okay. I've been getting more questions. What is that? Was that a continuation on my chart? No, this was the first time Trump talked about a tariff. Okay, this was when he actually installed the tariff. Okay, and actually we were right here before that. We ran up this way, kind of like we did here, and then we just absolutely got the crap kicked out of it. These levels over here have been out here for a long time. Okay. These might even be something. One of them is probably an old high or something like that, or some trend lines off some old highs. And this is where we went that day, okay? And then we just muddle around. You retest it, okay? Come retest it and hold. Was this the last day of the month? Oh yeah, it was the end of July, okay? Okay, so these guys all want to dick around with Trump, man. Trump's a smart character, okay? Everybody had it wrong on the tariffs. Now here, this thing's finally coming back. But as a matter of fact, I think it's sold off here today. But let's go to the next chart here. This is just, okay, so here, this is wheat. Okay, and this is something from 05 and 04. Okay, now it's later in the day. Actually, it's 12:41. And hang on a second. Let's see what wheat's doing. Okay. So we're only a penny above it, okay? But it's a number, okay? So it's a long-term number. This is the gold here. Now this is at, what did I say, 12:41, okay? And this is silver. Moron. Rally, what did we rally? A buck? What was that? 48.62. Look at that. $1.90 range, okay? Because 46.70 was the early low. Okay, 46.70, this. Okay, I got something there. And then we rallied up here. You can see here. Now look here. This is another thing here. Okay, now this is kind of tucked away here, 48.61. Oh, remember that? If you've been following my videos, remember that? 48.61. What is it? I'm not going to say what it is. It's right here. The other one from way back then was 49.81. Okay, and then this was yesterday's high. Just under 50 bucks. Just under 50 bucks. And you know what? Let's just go touch on crude oil here. Here's a downward sloping trend line in bean oil here, okay? You get under these X's here. Okay, now you really hit stops. Get under a green. Here, this is the trend line, okay? You hold it for a day. And then whatever it is in the overnight, 51.24, okay? So it was back up here. As a matter of fact, that's one of those gaps over there that I had from before, just from before. Just leave it up there. So you got a lot of stuff up here, and, we kind of failed. You come here. This was last night. You rally up here. You come during the session here. This is the day session, 8:30 bar, okay? So you come out here. They start spanking it, and then all of a sudden it picks up. And then here, you can see a couple 7s in here, okay? They are in there, okay? There's nothing I can do with it. You got 2 areas right here. Ones are printing 7s. And, that's just the way it is. When there's a lot of stuff going on, you're going to have a couple different things on that chart. This is crude oil over here. As a matter of fact, I think I just recently did one of these videos. And, it sounds like I'm joking around, but I was like, it was after we printed here. So this was on the 2nd. So one of these videos I did, I said about leaving the stops in, or you forget your stop was in. So say you bought this green, okay, and then you had, these were about, I don't know, what were they, 20 cents apart? Okay, maybe a little bit more. 26 cents apart, okay. So say, for example, you're just going to take a shot and buy the first green. These are both exactly the same. Well, they're not exactly the same, okay? But they're pretty short term. And say you bought this with a sell stop down here. And, okay, so you caught this move and you go sell the red, okay? You said, yeah, I'm just making this up, okay? And you forgot about your sell stop. My point the other day was if you have your sell stop right under here, even if you got flat up here, and then all of a sudden you get filled on that stop that was strategically located because you use NASDAQ charts, okay? I'm just saying here, you'd have been short and then you get a fill and all of a sudden, as a matter of fact, what is this? This is a daily here. Let me go to my like my 60-minute chart here. Okay, this would be like about my 60-minute chart here. Oh, okay, so this was the 8:30 bar, or this probably starts at 7. Oh no, 8 o'clock. Okay, when the bank's open. Okay, so here we are. We come back. Wow, did they try to hold the greens? Come down here, and then here, this is a total hose job. Okay, you know, you come back in here, but you're right there, you know, right against this low. I'm just saying here, I got a couple levels there, okay? I don't have anything from here to here. And all of a sudden, and then when you go under these things, as a matter of fact, there's 2 oranges right there. See them? Okay. Yes, 2 oranges. Okay, and then these things, they're two thin olives and 2 thick olives. Okay, so that's crude oil. That's crude oil. So the golden plan, okay, or the golden era that Trump talks about, do you know what it is? Do you have any idea? If you want to know, okay, let's do some business somehow. Pay me something because I subscribe to it. And I didn't think that the tariffs were going to be the end of the world either. But the rhinos and the you know, the establishment, you know, the people that get inside information, okay, those are the people that have been poo-pooing everything, and they're wrong about everything. They're wrong about everything, really, since April. I mean, even before April, even before that, Trump was going to be a dictator and all this other stuff. Okay, they've been consistently wrong, just like CNN. And now they got record low ratings, but you still watch it, right? CNN, by the way, 1 out of 400 people in the country watch it. MSDNC, what is it, 1 out of 800? It's around 1 out of 800 people watch it. So, you know, so I don't know, you go to church or something like that, well, it's still a pretty big church mass. 1 person in there watches MSDNC now. So it's just something to think about. It's fake news. Actually, the Smith-Mundt Act, M-U-N-D-T. Okay, look it up. Okay, Obama revoked it. Okay, because back in the old days, I think it was 1948 law that said you can't use propaganda on U.S. citizens. Okay, so Obama took that away and made it legal to do that. And, well, that's why we got fake news. They don't have to tell you real news anymore. They tell you just lies. It's fake news. All right, I think we're going to call this a wrap here. Here, you can see gold here bouncing around. Listen, maybe it's a top. Maybe it's a top. It could be possibly be a top. But we're going to have some wild swings, okay? I think you trade this thing. Here, look at this. This is kind of like that other chart here where we saw it come all the way back up. Oh, like crude oil. Remember that? Crude oil, it came back all the way into those greens. And then you break. And the only thing I could say here is if you and really there was nothing that said this was a top, okay? And this sequence was not drawn until this low was made. Okay? And this was for like at the end of the day yesterday. But here when you run back all the way back up to the highs, you know, because you're like here. We go from this is gold. 40.80 down to 40.20, call it. Okay, 60%. And that you're just saying, yeah, okay, I'm going to take a shot that's a top, and you have a sell anywhere in here, you know. And this olive line would not have been live here. Okay, I'm just making it up that if you're going to sell it like that, that's about the only way you know, and I'm not even saying anything about catching it because you're fading the trend. So here for the weekend, you know, what would you do? If in fact you might entertain some of these areas up here. you know, and you don't have to sell big futures, you know, because they have a lot of the smaller futures contracts now, you know. And if you're looking for a broker, email me. Email me at, email me, ARP at NASDOG.com, okay? I'm a totally regulated broker, okay? So it's all legit, regulated by the CFTC. You can look me up. All right, let's finish off with a trader rule, adage, or excuse. Where was it? On first notice day, buy the market if there are big deliveries. Okay, so I know what you're thinking right now. Go, hey, well, last February, didn't corn get crushed down there when I went down to your 377 olive line right before first notice day in March? You would be right. So thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up or something here. Or, you know, it's the DOA, the degradation of America. You know, you go from trading in the pits to being a podcaster. All right. Thank you. Have a nice day. Always use a risk stop to stop the risk.